Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Today, we're going to talk about mortgages. I have a friend, colleague, a mortgage specialist from the M2 mortgage team of Capital Lending, Melissa Pereira. I'm going to get her to tell you a little bit more about herself, but this video is going to talk about basically when you're buying and selling and the mortgage options that you have. There's three main ones that we're going to discuss. Uh, the porting of mortgages, a sideways lateral move, the upsizing, and the downsizing. And as we know, we just recently had a rate cut, but I'll let Melissa tell you about that as well with what's going on. So, Melissa Pereira, welcome. Say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Kev. Thank you so much for having me today. Super excited to be here and dive into all the things. So, I am Melissa. I am a level two mortgage agent and partner of the M2 mortgage team with Capital Home Lending. And my team and I believe in making the mortgage process as simple and easy as possible for our clients. We understand that mortgages can be very daunting and confusing and scary to many. And so, we're here to say it doesn't have to be. We believe in meeting our clients where they're at, whether they're first time home buyers or experienced investors. We're really here to hold their hand and walk them through the entire process from start to finish. And I will say, with buying your first home, as exciting and big as that might seem, the reality is you're just focusing on that one goal, which is buying your first home. So when it comes to buying your next home and selling and buying, there's a lot more moving pieces to consider. As you already mentioned, there's different scenarios that you might run into. So, really excited to get into it.
Yeah, let's talk about the one I think that happens the least, or at least that I see the least, and that's your lateral movement, right? I guess the only thing that I think when that might happen is when someone's relocating cities and they're not looking for anything bigger or smaller, and they just need to get something that is very similar. Um, why don't you break down the whole lateral move for us, Melissa?
All right, great place to start. So, in the mortgage world, this is called a port. And you're absolutely right. It's definitely the least common of the scenarios. And, like you mentioned, somebody might be moving cities, or for whatever reason, they just want to do a move. They don't need any more mortgage money or any less mortgage money. So, they're literally just taking their mortgage loan dollar for dollar and porting it onto the new property. So, a couple things to keep in mind that a lot of people don't consider because they think, well, I'm just taking my mortgage with me and it's no big deal. We're good. And it's not necessarily the case, right? So, number one, the buyer or the client, whoever's on the mortgage, does have to requalify again. So, that means, they'll have to go through the whole verification process, income process, and as well, they have to take into account the new property that they are looking to purchase. And technically, the lender does need to revisit the property itself. And the reason for this is marketability, right? So when you are qualifying for a mortgage, not only is the buyer qualifying for the mortgage, but it's also property specific. So just because the lender approved you on one property doesn't necessarily mean that you can take the same mortgage to another one.
I think one thing a lot of people don't think about when they think about mortgages is that it matters that they're getting not the bank's money. The bank is giving them our money, right? Other people's money. So all lenders, bank, private, B lender, whatever, they are giving you somebody else's money. So they need to make sure that they are risking the least amount, like they're not at in any risk or the least possible risk they can be in, or however I want to say that. I don't know. But yeah, they all want to minimize their risk and make sure that one, you can qualify, the property is resaleable, as you're saying, right? To make sure that you're not just buying something way out in Timbuktu for the same amount of money that they don't think is going to cover their butt if anything ever goes sideways.
You nailed it exactly.
Please remember, while we are professionals, this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The advice shared may not apply to your unique situation. Always seek personalized advice from a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're finding it informative and useful, make sure to like, subscribe, share with a friend so that we can keep getting the information out there to Ontario landlords. And keep on joining us. We'll see you next time.